This this is sort of a interesting video to make, but it's all based on a lot of rumor. However, a lot of, shall we say, stars are starting to align, which is pointing potentially, and we'll probably find out maybe early next year if this comes true or not, but we are looking at a brand new political left-wing party led by none other than Jeremy Corbyn. And quite frankly, there are going to be a lot of people on the left really, really pissed off at what is about to happen, if that happens. Let me take you, before we get into the left-wing stuff, let me take you, for example, what's been going on with, of course, the Conservatives since the UKIP days. Now, I have told you countless times, if you look up what people are politically, you tend to look up, they come across as, they say, well, I am someone who is on the right wing, I am someone who is on the left wing, or especially in the UK, a lot of people come out as centrists. And if you look at the last one that was done not that too long ago now, there's probably going to be another one in like maybe a year or two's time, there were about 25%, I think, right-wingers, 25%, I think, left, and then in the middle, a massive 35% said, I am a centrist. That's a lot of people basically saying, I am neither of the left, neither from the right, I am a centrist. And I've said, I don't know how many times, sometimes you have to deal with the political reality that you've got all these people that say they are centrists, and then you also look at polls which overwhelmingly say people in the UK really like and want, progressive policy and progressive ideas in politics. It's, it's an interesting dynamic that has been kind of going on for quite some time. However, on the right, as we saw at the last general election, in comes reform. And bear in mind, the Conservative Party were the only party on the right of politics. They've now come in and they've split the right-wing vote. So that voting bloc that they could always rely on, gone. And as a result, they have moved even further to the right, which has meant those people on that spectrum who were more sort of right-leaning centrists, or who were sort of right-leaning but more to the center of the Conservatives, they've left the party, which has shrank their vote considerably, even more, and they are now left fighting reform, basically for whatever is left of that vote. And they are fighting something fierce. Now, let's turn our attention from the right over to the left, because you have, once again, a very small section there. The centrists outnumber us quite significantly when it comes to this. And if you think parties of the left, even though people will disagree with me, you've got Labour, you've got Lib Dem that sort of go there as well. There's the Greens, and really that's it for major parties, if you think very much so on there. But particularly so, this brand new left-wing party is an issue for the Green Party, because they are, and still would say that they are, very much a party of the left. And even so, if you've been keeping an eye on what's been going on with the Green Party since the general election, they're in a bit of a mess. They would openly admit it. They're in a bit of a mess. They are lucky. They are lucky that their conference pretty much got little to no media attention, because it was a mess. Because you had people running around that conference screaming from the rooftops, we are not going to compromise. We are not going to do deals with centrists. We are not going to, agree with them. We are going to reject them. We are going to sort of push them away. We are not going to engage in tactical voting. As a result, you've also seen them kick out members who, in the last general election, participated or said, no, we want to get involved in tactical voting because we know the Green Party can't win here. So we're going to encourage tactical voting. Those people, of course, been kicked out. And here's the thing, this new left-wing party, this vehicle that if it is piloted by Jeremy Corbyn, suddenly the Green Party loses a lot of support. Because the Carladenia has for a while now had to think very, or at least be very worried about Jeremy Corbyn. Because there are a lot of people who joined the Labour Party, or who, should we say, joined the Green Party because they felt that was now their new sort of political home. However, if all these people who, remember, they're all Corbynites because they were, quote, chased out of Labour. They weren't. But again, persecution complex. But there you go. We can have a discussion about that many times if people want, but I'm not here to talk about that today. They ran to the Green Party and they got a lot of support. But now, the second that Corbyn opens this new party, they're going to lose a lot of support from those people. They're going to lose a lot of support from those people. And this will then start infighting between the Greens and whatever new party this becomes. Because from what we've been hearing, it's going to be led by Jeremy Corbyn. That now splits the Greens' vote, which means any headway that they had potentially been making in those 4 seats that they had taken, they constantly talk about, oh, well, what about all these other seats where we'd come second? Well, guess what? With a new left-wing party, all of a sudden, that splits their vote in those constituencies. They ain't coming second in those constituencies anymore. There is going to be a big, big fight in the Green Party. Because remember, as we said about Carladenia, had been worried about Corbyn, about him wanting to join the Green Party, because she knows the second if that had happened, there would have been a big movement for Corbyn to become leader. Like, there would have been this massive upswell of all these people saying Corbyn should be leader, Corbyn should be leader, not co-leader, Corbyn should be leader. They would have pushed for that hard. And she knows it. And that's why whenever, if you listen to any of her sort of talks about and ask this question, she would turn around and say, we would welcome Jeremy Corbyn into the party if he agrees to our policies. And that's always the caveat. Always the caveat. If he agrees to our policies. Because Jeremy Corbyn, if you look at his past record and history, he's always been this political maverick. He's been out there constantly in no man's land for years. Even when he was a member of the Labour Party, always defying the party, doing whatever he wanted to do, particularly at the time. What's to say he's not going to end up doing that if he was a member of the Green Party? But apparently, there's this new left-wing party forming. Guess what? All those Corbynites, those Corbynistas that joined the Green Party, they're going to go join that new party. Because I've said this before, and I'll say this again. Those people have no loyalty to a party. They are just a personality cult that follows Jeremy Corbyn. And the second he raises his flag of this new party, zoom, over they go. And you know what you're also going to hear? You know what you're also going to hear? Oh, the Green Party should merge with this new party. I guarantee you, you're going to get calls from those people who left the Green Party, telling the Green Party they should merge with this new party. Needless to say, if this new party does come about, if this does happen, there's suddenly going to be a awful skirmish breakout. There is going to be a huge skirmish breakout amongst these people. Yeah, the watermelons and the Corbynistas are going to go to war with each other because they ain't going to suddenly start liking each other. And ooh, oh boy, yeah, it's going to be interesting times if that does happen. I'll tell you that now. So, as always, thank you very much for watching, and of course, as always, we'll see you all next time.